Here's a cold start on a 1987 Carrera 3.2 liter flat six. Ready for this? Le Mans style here on the left. Push your foot in the clutch. Fires right up. Gas, oil pressure, temperature, miles and speedometer, clock. Welcome to Driven Nashville. Now we would normally shoot this video outside, but it's so windy today I had to actually do this in the car, otherwise we wouldn't have any usable audio. I wanted to quickly say, if you're new to the channel, we do our best to produce weekly enthusiast-driven car content. And along those lines, we're talking about a 1987 Carrera. This is an interesting car, right? This is called the G-body years of cars, right? I think they ended them in '89 when they started to go to the 964, and then everything else from there on. Now they're at the 992s, etc. But you know, this is basically what they called these years of cars, right? The G-body, and this is, of course, the 87. This is not a turbo. This just has a 3.2 liter flat six, right? Makes it a little over 200 horsepower, does about 0 to 60 in a little over 6 seconds. Very, very linear power plant, right? As you're gonna see in the point of view drive. It really likes to rev out. The clutch, interestingly enough, is pretty darn forgivable and pretty easy. The only tricky part with this clutch is reverse is down and to the left, which is near first gear. So you can get that confused. In fact, the very first time I actually got in this car, I actually put it in reverse instead of first and almost ran into somebody, but luckily I'm a good driver and I caught myself fairly quickly. And then the other part about it is it has a really high clutch release point, right? So, you know, you can't like just baby the clutch. You kind of got to let it out a little bit and then it engages almost immediately. First impressions of sitting in this car, very comfortable. I love the seats. You know, they're just nice. I like the headroom. It's a small car, but I don't feel too cramped. I like the way the car sounds. I like the way the car smells. I love the way it looks, the classic 911 looks. I mean, driving this car around now for just the last 2 days, I can tell you this car gets so much love. It is nuts. I mean, it is no hate, right? You drive by, everybody's looking at it, everybody's commenting about it, everybody's even, a couple people got out their phones, right? And it's not even that rare of a car. I mean, you could have picked these cars up maybe, what, 2, 3, well, maybe not 2, 3 years ago, but maybe 5 or 7 years ago for about 30, 40 grand, maybe even lower. This car recently sold for over $90,000. Now, one of the interesting parts specifically about this car is it's just really dialed in, drives great, but I gotta say, it's in a color called Nougat Brown. Or Nugget Brown, but I think it's called Nougat Brown. And you know, back in '87, as you guys could imagine, a brown color on a car wasn't necessarily that desirable. Well, back then it wasn't. And now, if you come to today, right, 35 years later, roughly, you're basically talking about a rare car with original paint, right, that, you know, just very, very little of these were actually made in brown. So I just always find that fascinating in the car world, right, how a non-likable color becomes the rarest color, in which case it has more collectibility because of that. The interior, it's aging really, really well. Everything's got a button right. Everything's just old school in nature. You know, I still don't completely understand how to control the AC. I don't know, there's just 4 or 5 combinations of things I gotta do. I just love that, right? I mean, everything's today's touch. You know, you get in my Tesla, it's just one giant screen. You know, you got to be a rocket scientist to figure it out some days. This is like, well, you just got to know which button to push. Got that tactile feedback. You know, there's just something that, you know, they're not making 1987s anymore, right? I read that on Facebook today. So it's true, right? This is just one of those old school classic cars. So today we're going to go for a point of view drive. I appreciate you watching. If you like the content, share it with anybody, and please subscribe. Let's get to the next part. Turn on the air conditioning. I'm assuming it works, but wow. Listen to how loud that thing is, guys. We don't want heat. See, I don't even know if that's heat or cold or what. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna sweat for you guys. How about that? How's that for car content, right? Let's go for a drive, shall we? That's full throttle. Full throttle shift. And there you go. Steering is hydraulic, so it's quite heavy. It's pretty good when you're driving at 60 miles an hour, but I will tell you, around a parking lot, it sucks. Suspension's gushy. You can see it's got a little bit of, you know, a little bit of body roll. It's nothing modern, but overall, it does feel really, really good to drive. It's pretty comfortable. I mean, I don't know what else to say, right? It just feels good to go through the gears, wind it out. The engine sounds amazing. Yes, it's not overly fast, but it has character, guys. That's the thing about this car that you're just gonna fall in love with. It's the feeling of the doors when you shut it, right? It just has that like really, really old school, heavy, clunking sound, right? It's the old smell of this car. It just smells so good, like your favorite library. This is old school. This is character. This is fun. And you are just gonna love driving this car. I'm gonna take you down one of my favorite little B roads here. This might even be called a C road. Absolute driving bliss right here, let me tell you. Just fantastic. You know, there's just something about Porsches, right? They're just so damn well made. Even back then, they still made a great product. And that's why, you know, in 2022, you know, this is one of the hottest cars, you know, frankly, on the market. I mean, maybe not this exact year, but let's be honest, name a hotter car brand right now than Porsche. I'm all ears. You know, name a hotter car right now than the GT3 or the GT3 RS or the GT4 RS, because I don't think there's one that exists. Well, guys, the wind has calmed down just a little bit, so I was able to get a clip here. I want to just make this the conclusion. You know, I really hope you guys get the vibe of these cars. I do my best to just like try to let you experience it, you know, because I'm doing this channel, I do all of this because I love cars. I don't do it for the money, I don't do it for the fame, I do it for the cars. And I gotta say, I love driving these old school cars as much as I do the modern things. You don't have to be going Mach 1 to have a good time in this thing. You know, this car will run out just like you saw and work fantastic. You could absolutely beat on it. You know, you could enjoy the heck out of it. Looks amazing. I mean, look at how good this car is aged. Just look at it. Tell me that's not hot. I mean, look at that massive duck wing, Fuchs wheels, the black here with the Carrera sticker. This color looks awesome in the sun. Yellowed out headlights, really low profile in the front. I mean, it looks like a darn good car. So anyway, I love these old school cars. I'm so thankful to Porsche and so thankful to Charles for letting me enjoy and get to understand, you know, what makes these cars special. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to produce content hopefully every week either way, but we'd love to have you along for the ride. You know, the more subscribers, there's that wind, right? The more subscribers, the more views. I'm just going to be pumping more and more into the channel. You know, I don't take money out of Driven Nashville. Every dime goes right back into it, like I've said in my channel preview. So just really appreciate your support. I want to continue to do some more traveling this year. I'd love to be able to attend some manufacturer events. You know, like a good friend of mine just went down to Texas to Tesla and, you know, the Texas Road Show, and that would have been really great for Driven Nashville to be there because I'm a huge Tesla fan too. So, of course, this is not a Tesla. This is about the farthest thing from a Tesla. Even has that wonderful exhaust smell, you know. So anyway, that's it for me today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the content, and I will talk to you on the next video.